This week in Destiny, we have one of the easiest Grandmasters to farm, and that is going to be Devil's Lair. Now, Devil's Lair is, again, very simple and is the one that I recommend everybody starts when you want to start your Grandmaster journey. So, with that, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the membership stuff down below. Let's have a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll get right into this Nightfall. You're going to be presented with two options. The first option is hop on your Sparrow and go right and just go straight to the end to the Overload Champion. Now what me and my team do normally is we stick to the left hand side, deal with a few of the ads, push up to the first platform, ignore all the ads in the little second area, push up to that next platform. Now in this next platform, be careful as the acolytes here can hide, and they will hide inside the wall more specifically and make it a pain in the ass to deal with them. So make sure that they're not on the wall because they can wipe you. Deal with the Overload Champion and you can move on inside to the next part of this Grandmaster Nightfall. In this next part, there's going to be just a bunch of Fallen and Hive you're going to have to deal with. Deal with them. There's going to be an anti-barrier champion. Again, deal with it. It's one champion. Your full fire team should easily be able to deal with it. Push down the stairs, and I always recommend dealing with the Overload Champion on the right hand side first before dealing with any of the Hive. Once the Overload Champion is dealt with, again, just kind of hang out here for a second or two and deal with the Thrall. They're going to come out of this little doorway because, again, if you don't, they're going to run up from behind you and make your life not miserable, but they're going to be a pain to deal with because when you push up, you're going to deal immediately with an anti-barrier champion. Take care of him and then clear this entire room. There's going to be an Overload Champion near the objective where you have to scan stuff, and there's just going to be an absolute mess of everything else. Deal with everything. Clear this room and then go scan the security device. Once the security device has been scanned, I always recommend going to the left down that little like tunnel hallway type thing and sitting back here. Normally you have a well. We would have a well. We did not run a well this time, and it still worked quite well because with two Strand Titans, nothing is going to touch you, and it's just amazing. The first half of this first wave is going to include an Overload Champion. Take care of him, clear the room, and the second half of this first wave is going to include a bunch of Shanks. There's going to be Exploding Shanks, Tracer Shanks, regular Shanks. The Shanks you really want to worry about are the Exploding Shanks because they will one-shot you, so don't get caught out near one of these things and don't get distracted when these things have spawned out. And the second wave, there's going to be some Hive that spawn alongside some Fallen. These Hive are going to spawn out of a door, I believe on your right hand side just in front of you. Take care of them. When the barrier champion spawns, he's going to spawn literally right on top of you. Now again, if you have a well warlock, this is very simple. If you don't, with the Strand Titans we ran, we just popped our barricades, suspended him, very simple to deal with. I also believe there is an Overload Champion that also spawns in this spot, so take care of them. Again, after all these ads have been taken care of, more rounds of Shanks, and then the last wave that you're going to have to deal with has two Overload Champions. Deal with both of them, take care of a few of the straggling ads, and the door should open, moving you on to the next part. In this next part, there's going to be a handful of Fallen and an Overload Champion. Deal the Overload Champion, very easy, just one, and proceed outside to deal with the tank. Now when outside, don't push too far forward as we're going to deal with this Barrier Champion and all of his sniper friends first. Once that Barrier Champion has been dealt with, still don't push out too far because if you do, everything is going to spawn. The Brigs, the Champions, the Walker Tank. Instead, you're going to stick to that wall on your left hand side and deal with all the Fallen inside this little warehouse as they will shoot you in the back. Once that has been dealt with, then we can get everything else to spawn in. If you have a well, I recommend jumping up on top of this building and taking care of that spider tank immediately. We did not have a well and we were met with just a pain the entire time because this spider tank one-shot us when we were trying to deal with the other ads. As for the Brigs, if you're running Strand makes these guys really easy as it works on them. You can suspend them, so suspend them, take care of them, they will not be a problem, and then start picking away at the champions. I always recommend dealing with barrier champions first because A, they're easier, and B, they protect everything else, especially in this Nightfall because they are servitors. Servitors have the ability to protect other enemies, so take care of the barrier servitors first, make your life easy, push up, deal with the Overload Champions that spawn near the tank. Once they have been dealt with, the door is going to open and there's going to be another Overload Champion. Deal with him. Once we move into the boss room, when the big doors open, hang a hard left and you're going to hide in that little room on the left hand side because that is perfect cover for this boss fight. Deal with the two Overload Champions that spawn and then start damaging Sepiks Prime. Once Sepiks gets down to, I think, like half of that first third, adds are going to spawn, deal with them, damage Sepiks some more, and he's going to go immune. Now to deal with his immunity, just defeat the 4 servitors that are around him, but be careful because again, he is going to spawn a ton of adds. Once the adds and these servitors have been cleared, you can damage Sepiks again, repeat the same process from before. When he goes into his second immunity phase, everything is going to stay the same, except there's going to be 2 overload champions. Deal with the 2 overload champions, deal with the adds, break Sepiks immunity, and then for his last third of his health, you can just outright just beam him with whatever you got. Heavies, supers, whatever. Defeat him and watch all that loot fall on the right hand side of your screen. Now again, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is a very easy Grandmaster and is the one I recommend you start with pretty much every time. It's either going to be this or it's going to be Insight Terminus. Both of them are extremely easy and extremely fun, and this week, because there is double drops, it is going to be an amazing farm. But with that, that is the end of the guide. I'm not going to do another one like I did with Fallen Saber. These Grandmaster videos are going to be one and done. Once I've gone through all of them, that's it. I now have to find new things for content. But like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.